What up, Jittery? What up, Andrew? What up, Dolly? How you doing? Today we're drawing Vile, who is kind of a villain at first, but he eventually ditches Eden after he finds out they want to use his genetics program, or for his creation on creatures he doesn't exactly agree with being created. Hello, Zep. Who are you drawing? We are drawing Vile today. Initially, I was going to do Vile and Malcolm, or Vile and Oscar, or Albert. I was going to do any one of the other characters. Why I have all this space over here, but I decided against it because, for one, I didn't have any up-to-date current references of these characters, and I already drew Oscar, so. And Malcolm and Vile don't really interact very much, so I don't know why I would draw it in the first place. But Vile is he is a genetics scientist. He's basically, he makes like enhancements to he makes bioweapons basically. That's what he's good at making. He makes things that can enhance the body. However, he's not in too much of a grievance of what they want to use his genetic stuff on. There are these creatures called howlers, and they're like these dangerous bioweapons that he does not exactly agree with the creation of, as they're too dangerous, too unpredictable. But Eden doesn't really care. So he doesn't actually finish up his project until he gets away from Eden. He breaks away from Eden eventually. Is he human? Yeah, he's human. He has no magic or anything like that. So, but he's useful in with his knowledge. He was a lot more willing to give over some of his projects to Eden. That's why they found him useful. It's why they promoted him and all that stuff. It's actually so sad because you usually go live when I'm in school, and it's low-key irritating because I like your content. I'm sorry. I just go live whenever I'm awake. That's all. What time is it for me? It's about 10:48. AM or PM? AM. He does have a love interest. He does get one, yes. He falls in love with somebody born of the Crucible. She is a creation of... She's a bioweapon, basically. We're actually currently rewriting some of Vile's story, so some of that may change. Yes, love interest is an OC, but we aren't exactly sure right now. Like I said, we are currently rewriting some of his stuff, so some of his stuff is kind of in the dark right now. So I'm not going to explain any of his lore because it's likely it'll change. So please do not ask for me to explain lore on this character. I'm probably not going to. I really shouldn't have drawn Vile, but fuck it. He was the first character that appeared in my photos when I was looking through for references. I've actually never even drawn this pose for Vile before. I have him in a different pose completely. So this is all freehand draw instead of a direct reference. Most of the images I draw for you guys are directly referenced from images I've made before. This one, though, is not the case. Because it was initially going to be a scene, but I didn't do that. I did not end up doing that. Okay, some random dude from Poland. You know, you don't have to announce when you're going to leave, by the way. I didn't even notice you were here, so... You can't just leave. You don't have to tell me that you're going to go watch something else. Cool drawing, thanks. The internet crashed today right before I went to go stream, so I had to wait a while. Our new internet box is worse than the one we had before. Finally, goodness gracious, you didn't draw a buff guy? I don't get what's so wrong whenever I don't draw a character that's accurate to real life stuff. Like, what the fuck is the point of drawing real life stuff? Why is it that every single artist has to draw everything perfectly accurate to real life? What's, like... You know, there's a thing called fantasy. I think it's really fucking stupid that things have to be drawn a certain way because some people don't like the way fantasy stuff are drawn. Sorry I said that. I don't get it. I don't, get it. Because I should be able to draw my characters the way I want them to look and how I want to draw them. I shouldn't have to conform to real life shit. Because to me, real life is boring. And I ran out of lead, so thank God I didn't do a super heavy one today. But that's vile. I'm completely out of lead now. I probably will be busy. Later this week. Probably Saturday and so that I will be busy. Or maybe even today. Like, I don't really know. I did want to stream a little bit. But, so, yeah, these are now completely out of lead. I need to go ask if anyone has any. Actually, maybe I have another mechanical pencil over here. Does this one have any stuff in it? It does. Okay. Thank God I have so many of them. I just don't fucking touch anymore, so... I have plenty more in this one. Sounds like I have a lot in this one. Anywho. I plan to stream Final Fantasy VI today. At least for a little bit. Is this going to be a short stream? Depends on how the internet box is feeling. If it wants to let me get a good stream, then sure, it will be somewhat lengthy. But yeah, this may be a bit of a shorter stream. I don't even want to know if I want to go to an hour. Forgot to go. Alright, see you, Lily. You should make a story. I have made a story. It's what Agony is. It's a story project I've been working on for a very long time. Anywho. So there's Vile done. I'm gonna toss these over there. Yeah, so there he is. I'll get you guys a closer look at him. As you can see, he's quite a dapper fellow. What is this personality? Well, he doesn't like to be fucked with, so... But he's a superstitious type. Hello, I'm bothered. Could show off some of the other stuff real quick. Yeah, I don't really know how long this stream is gonna be. I may be working on some other projects too. I could do more Malcolm doodles. I meant to do that yesterday. Here was yesterday's project. Balder, one of my two main characters. This was yesterday's project. Hello, Ginger. Man. What about Zoe and her boyfriend? I guess I'll show them off. Fucking hate this book sometimes. Here is Zoe and her boyfriend. What type of lead do you use? I don't really keep track. Malcolm's a squirrel. Man, it's fucking cold in this room. I don't know why it's so cold. Yeah, it's freezing outside, so it's gonna be freezing in this house. My room has no insulation in it, so. I really like the designs, yeah. I may do more Malcolm, because I drew Zoe earlier in this book, which I'll go and show. And yes, Malcolm is a boy. Okay, I found it. I'm just gonna keep the rest of the pages like this in case I want to flip through some more. No, I don't have to keep lifting the book. There's Zoe. Yeah, she's handing you apparently this is called a boof, so. Her name is Zoe. Yeah, I said that. I actually have a really early concept of Zoe still. And she was going to look completely different. Back when all my characters were basically small and tiny. Because they all looked the exact same. Is she like a rebellious type? Kind of, yeah. We have to see White again. I will show White. But yeah, Zoe. So by the way, some of you that don't know, this is Zoe's dad. Are these your OCs? Yes, they're from my. All these are all my OCs. So yeah, this is Zoe's dad. And then I'm pretty sure I have. This is Margaret. Yep, and then this is Margaret, her mother. Guess I gotta go. All right, see ya, Kyle. Kyle, they took everything. Thanks. Yeah, baby Margaret, a little floofy. But yeah, so they would, those two would have this child, and this little bastard child, smokes basically everything. Cigarettes, blunts, or joints, whatever they're called, boofs, vapes. Margaret is her mom, yeah. And I don't really know what else you could smoke, but she probably smokes it. And then she keeps a gun down here. Like an actual gun. Does she smoke air? I mean, we all breathe, so maybe. Joints, are you talking about weed? Yes, I'm talking about weed. Does she smoke humans like high on life? No. No, she does not. Man, I really gotta play high on life. Does she smoke? That's crazy. Maybe, I guess. I mean, she likes to smell secondhand smoke, so. As you got here, what did I miss? Just looking at some of my other stuff. Yeah, so let me get back to today's thing, which was Vile. Why does she have tail and ears? Because she's a cat. Does she have a BF? Yeah, she does have a boyfriend. Does she smoke Elmer's glue? Probably not. I don't know anyone that would smoke Elmer's glue. Seems kind of deadly. I don't get people who snort glue. They're fucking weird. Oh, eat her cigarettes. I would smoke Elmer's glue. That's crazy. Who snorts glue, though? Like, why would you do that? There's Balder. There's Margaret, but really fat because she becomes a fat house cat later in the series. She gets like, because she stress eats because Zoe smokes. So Margaret gets like really, really fat and basically becomes your average house cat. Tell me that you have a cat and tell me that they're not fat. Every house cat gets fat at some point. I have a stray cat I feed and they're fat. So there's Zoe and her boyfriend. Like I said, I'm probably not gonna be streaming for all that long. I'm not drawing anything else. I wasn't planning to draw much today. He is the more rational one in the relationship. I reported you. I'm not breaking any rules, fucking dipshit. I'm not breaking any of the rules. It's not like I'm... What a little fucking prick. Someone in my class snorted chalk? That's crazy. That's crazy. Can we see the cats? I don't know. Just people want to talk. Just people just want to talk more shit about them. Is Vile single? Technically. Here's Zoe's dad again. And then back to this one. Here's Zoe and her boyfriend Malcolm. Someone in my class made concrete? Why? Why are you guys snorting shit? I love Zoe's design. This one's Zoe, and this one's Malcolm. Their names are right next to them, so... You guys are fucking weird. I can't stand the smell of smoke. And yet, everyone's in here is like, I snort this, and I smoke that. Jesus Christ. Someone give you a glass of ketamine, goddamn. Why are y'all snorting everything? I don't know. Malcolm looks like a girl, he is a boy. Trust me, he is a boy. Go fuck yourself, Fluffy T. Anyway, can we see the dad again? Yeah, here's Zoe's dad. Malcolm is kind of like a transgender, yeah. Kind of. Zoe is a girl? Yes, Zoe's a girl. If you smoke cheese strings, that's a new level of low. I don't get the small head argument. No, it's Balder. Like the god from Norse mythology. Do you prefer drawing guys or girls? It depends on how I feel that day. I will say there are easy stuff to do with both of them. With guys, the muscle definition comes a lot easier with the arms and stuff like that because, like, you know, men. It's also really easy to give, like, them a sharp jawline and stuff like that. The neck is a lot more easier to do. When I draw girls, it's kind of easy because, like, I don't have to put any detail into the chest. I just draw 2 circles, basically. So... There are qualms of both. I have a lot of issues drawing guys sometimes, and I have a lot of issues drawing girls sometimes, so... I've never even, I've never even played a Sonic game, hardly. I don't really like Sonic. You breathe uranium? No. I don't really know if I want to show any more I don't really want to know if I want to show anymore. Got a lot of people in here shit talking, so I think I'm not gonna show anymore. I own a piece of zinc. You know pennies are made of that, right? Can we do an art swap? Like, what do you mean an art swap? What did I miss? People were being assholes, so I'm not gonna show anymore. Yeah, this is technically an 18 plus only live. I only, like, the stuff I draw and the topic that Agony is really even shouldn't be for kids. There's a lot of crude stuff in Agony, from like really bad violence I talk about and all that stuff, like when you draw with other artists. You mean like an art trade? Could have just said that. I don't really do art trades anymore. When I was doing Deviant Art, I used to do a lot of art trades, but that community was so fucking toxic. I just I didn't want to be on there anymore. How do you draw so cleanly? I just it just kind of comes naturally at this point. I've been drawing for like 15 years, so hey, Hans wife, can you quit it? I don't really need to know that. What's your favorite thing to draw when you have an art block? I like to draw my characters. Here's a new sub. Thanks. Can you draw in camera, please? Like, what do you mean? I draw right at the beginning of streams, and then I kind of just answer a bunch of questions. That's why I do longer ones. Because he was kind of simple. All right, Hans wife, I'm gonna time you out. I gave you a warning, so I'm gonna give you a 10-minute timeout. I'll show Zoe again real quick. So here's Zoe and her boyfriend Malcolm. I timed him out. I timed Hans wife out. I was kind of angry at the fact that he kept going, so. That's chat for you. Well, now I get the hate. So, all right, see ya, gang. I plan to make a full drawing of Malcolm, yeah. This is actually kind of why I didn't want to share anymore. Because I just got somebody tell me I should kill myself, so I'm not really having it today. I'm really not, but sure. Okay, I hate it, but I wouldn't want to tell anyone. Why are you still here then? Like, why are you still here? Like, if you hate it, why are you still here? Genuine question. If you don't like my stuff, then why are you still here? I'm here to tell someone I shouldn't kill. You literally, like, seconds beforehand, just tell me that shit is awful. So, like, I don't really know what your goal is here. I'm not gonna show any more, actually. I'm kind of done for today. Are those old or new drawings? I've been drawing all these in the past few weeks. Like, the past week and a half. So, those new or old drawings, they're new. They're very new. Chat here is very calm. Well, we got a lot of blocked words, and I see all those messages still. So, here's Hati and Luna from some of the stuff I've drawn. Here's a work in progress. Here's Janet. Here's Margaret again. Here's Sarah. Oscar. Zoe. I got some of this one real quick that I can show. Here's Luna. Here's Hati again. There's a little 7-year-old Hati as well. Here's Axel. There's some concept art right there. There's White. Here's Hati again. That's it for this book. So, there's that. I'm gonna cook something up. Hold up. Put all your characters on a spin wheel and then draw them in a pick from another wheel. What? All subbed, thanks. A lot of stuff I draw takes like a while, and I don't want to be streaming this for a while. I had another Hati drawing going here, but I scrapped it because I didn't like how it was turning out. Because here's Hati normally, and here was the scraps drawing I had. I didn't really like it. Here's David and Emily. This one for some reason didn't get shown. I'm not drawing your PFP. So, there's that. Medina Diva says, what the fuck? There's Zoe again. Yeah, David and Emily are married. The two I showed, those two are married. And then there's Malcolm and Zoe again. So, and then there's his one's kind of old, it's a few months old, and then here's another villain. These are the only two I colored in this book, because coloring them was a bit of a nightmare, but yeah, so there's Blight and there's Haze. So, yeah, that's all that stuff. Happily married, yeah. I may do a video or something like that, or like a short on my channel of doing... I might do more of Malcolm, maybe. Because some people want to see more of Malcolm. Next stream, can you draw characters from scratch? I don't really like drawing on stream. Because it makes me nervous. Who's furry femboy? He's technically a femboy. Malcolm is, but Zoe's a girl. Yeah, he's a boy, so... How much did this one sketchbook cost you? I don't know, it was a gift. The shading's actually the part I'm even more nervous about, because then it smears and then I could ruin... Because it takes me like 20-40 minutes to get this, and I don't want to have a stream where I'm just sitting here going... until I decide how I want this to look, and then start doing a little bit, and then go back to doing this. I don't really want to do that. Because these take me a while to make. I don't really just mod people out of nowhere. There are a few criteria you have to meet to become a mod. I like it when the streamer actually interacts with their viewers. Yeah, that's kind of the whole point, I feel like, of live streaming. We've gone through maybe about 25 sheets or some shit like that. Because there's 100 in here. So I'm assuming we've gone through like a fourth of them. Yeah, so this is one of my most popular ones, surprisingly, even though a lot of people hate it. Maybe that's why it's so popular, is because people just fucking hate it. But maybe I'll do more of Malcolm. Maybe. How many years have you been drawing for? 15. I'm drawing for 15 years. Each of these characters I've written for and all that stuff, so maybe that's what I'll be working on today, is a new Malcolm drawing, and then maybe going to stream Final Fantasy VI. I've been in previous videos. Hello. Anyway, that's probably all I'm gonna stream. I got some really disheartening stuff today, so there's Zoe again. Somebody wanted to see Zoe. If anyone's got any questions about people like Zoe or Malcolm or Vile or anyone like that, go ahead and ask. I still love Zoe's loser shirt, yeah. A lot of people like her loser shirt. So, do you have old designs of your OCs? Yeah, I got plenty of old designs, like outdated ones. I have one of Zoe actually lying around somewhere if I can find it. So yeah, I've gotten a lot of rude stuff, so I may how is Zoe and Malcolm's relationship? It's good. They like each other. I feel like that should be enough. You should kill yourself. Alright, got it. Colossal Coins, go fuck yourself. Do you still have a sketchbook? Do you have a sketchbook that smudges? This is the sketchbook that smudges a lot. I hate you? Alright, well, nobody's telling you to be here. Jeez. Hello, I like your art style. Thanks. You know, it's also called a fucking drawing, by the way, and I can draw whatever the hell I want. You know, I actually get... Be really funny if I told you that a lot of these characters, you know, the people that help me design these characters are girls. Fucking morons. Is the sketchbook old? No, this one I've gotten more recently. But my ex would usually design some of these characters for me, so she'd save me a lot of time. Zoe is a cat. There's another kill yourself. I'm gonna ban that person. Anyway. Yeah, a lot of people freak out over drawings because if that drawing doesn't meet their standards, dude, they turn into a little bitch and they fucking whine and cry because every single drawing has to apparently look the exact same, and if it's just slightly disproportionate or anything like that, they'll freak the fuck out because people can't stand things from being from the norm. You know. Like, I used to draw stuff in school and stuff like that still. People didn't really care. Is URC, yeah. But, like, I've had at least, like, 4 kill yourselves now, which is insane that you can say that to another human being. How many sketchbooks do you have? I have a few. Some of them I haven't touched in a long time. Some of them are just really, really, really old. Your art style is trash, 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 trash. Hey, go fuck yourself, real Kaken. Nobody's forcing you to be here, buddy. Diddy? What about Diddy? I did ban real cakes. So, yeah, I'm not going to show any more stuff. Maybe I can go look. For, like, old designs and maybe compare them. I don't really know if I want to do that still. Because it seems like every time I go to show something, then the people start showing up and they're like, oh my fucking god, dude, that guy's drawing something I don't like. How do some people find it? How do people find it fun to make fun of other people? I don't know. Like your art style? You haven't even probably seen it. Alright, where's Shelly? The person who said Diddy's getting banned. I don't want that fucking freak in. I don't want anyone talking about that guy in here. He's a fucking weirdo. And I cannot believe he got off with the shit he got off with. Like, there is no fucking shot. He got away with basically all of that shit that he did. People are so mad about an art style, yeah. People who tell others to kill themselves for an art style are retards. I'm not too much fan of your art, but I don't care too much. Why are you still here then? Yeah, Diddy was a bad person. Don't talk about him in here. I don't get some of those people that are coming in here telling me that it's trash and then are like, oh my god, he got told to kill himself. And that suddenly acts like they care. When they were literally moments ago telling me it was fucking garbage. I don't get you people. It's like you flip on a fucking dime. telling somebody to kill themselves over art is insane and disgusting. Yeah. You were talking about Diddy earlier. I'm gonna time you out. So, maybe if I see my old sketchbook, let me see if it's over here, maybe. Is this it? Or is this one? Is it this one? It is this one. Man, there's a lot of old stuff in here. That fix it? Okay. Can anyone hear me? Did I actually fix it? Okay, it was not the mute button. For anyone that was spamming, unmute, it was not the mute button. It was the fact that a notification came through on my phone, which is why I turned off all notifications. And it completely muted my stream because YouTube decided to just say, fuck you. So, it was not me pressing the mute button. Anywho, for anyone now that can actually fucking hear me, this sketchbook is around 8 years old. So, there's a lot of really old stuff in here. We'll take a look, actually. There is a lot of old stuff, and none of the stuff is hardly even canon anymore. But as you can see, these drawings have not aged very well. And some of these have changed greatly. Here is probably the first concept I ever had of Zoe. from 8 years ago. So this was Zoe from like 8 years ago. And let me get today, what she would look like, what she looks like in today's world. Here is Zoe today. So there's Zoe from, here's Zoe today, and here she is from 8 years ago. As you can see, this is a major difference in between the character looks. She wasn't even a cat initially. Let's see. There's a lot of old stuff in here. Any of this stuff with today's stream? No. Man, there is a lot of old shit in here. Is there anything that's relevant to today? Even back 8 years ago, I was still drawing a lot of Net Safe Work stuff. So that's this book. I actually do still have, I have one that's even older. Let me go see if I can find that real quick. I have one that's even older from 11 years ago. The question is where is that at? Is that in here? Is that what this is? How old is this one? This one? Okay, yeah, so this one's from 11 years ago. It was the same brand. It was the same brand. So, this one's from 11 years ago. As you can see, it says Volume 1. This one's falling apart a little bit at the seams. So, let's see. Oh my god. So, if you actually look on my channel, you can find my main characters. You can also find Red, who is one of my two main characters. And this is what he looked like 11 years ago. 11 years ago is a long ass time. Here was a dragon armor I made for Red. And as you can tell, the time has not been kind to it. It has not been kind. You can find Red in my playlists of art. You can find Red up to date, and this is what he looks like from 11 years ago. There's a major difference. That book is saying back in my day. What's this about? Drawings. I'm showing off really old drawings now, like super old. These are up-to-date drawings, all of these. We have ones like Balder, Zoe and her boyfriend, Fat Margaret, Oscar, Sarah. Like, we got a lot of up-to-date stuff here. And this is 11 years ago. 11 years ago to today. So a show went off from 8 years ago, roughly. Yeah, and this one's definitely seen better days. You can see this front page here is very, very movable because it's only hanging on by like 3 threads. So it's very movable. What did I miss? A lot of rude people. Anyway. Why does Zoe look both male? Zoe's a girl. Zoe is a girl. This sketchbook is from ye olden days. Yeah, it is really, really old. So there's Zoe today. Here, wait. So here, I'll show it one more time for people who are newly coming in. So here is Zoe up to date. And here is Zoe from 8 years ago. Let me just grab this. God, these drawings look fucking terrible. So here is 8 years ago, Zoe. 8 years ago. I would be 11 at the time of making this. So there's a major difference. You were 11 years old? Yeah, at the time of this one. And my first sketchbook from 11 years ago, I would have been... I'm 19 now, so 11 years... I would have been 8 for this one. So... I'm pretty sure my main character, Balder here, my very first character is also in this book. Hey, Alec, if you said before you don't like my stuff, so why are you still here? I think there's a line from when someone says something mean and then to kill yourself is a line people shouldn't cross. Yeah, but people do it all the time. So this one was from when I was 8 years old. This is when I really started to actually take my... Because I don't know where anything else from previous stuff are. Like, I don't know. I cannot find any drawings that are older than this stuff. But, so here... So this is Balder. He was my first ever character. He's one of my main 2 characters. Here is Red, one of the other main 2 characters from 11 years ago. 11 years is a long fucking time. Here is Balder from 11 years ago. As you can see, there's a major difference. He used to be like this giant robotic guy, and we have him today. So there's been a major overhaul for 11 years. You know, I'd say that the change was definitely for the better, because, like, look at him now. He looks so much better for 11 years of development. Here's Red in some dragon armor. As you can tell, a decade has not been very kind to this drawing. A decade really has not been kind to it. Okay, yeah, so here, so we have, I've shown off old Balder, and I've shown off old Margaret, or no, I've also shown, but I've shown off, so here's Margaret up today. You know, she's the cat girl Balder has a kid with, that's Zoe. So here is Margaret from 11 years ago. Here is Margaret 11 years ago. And she had like this other form at first. So here, this is Margaret from 11 years ago, and here is Margaret today. So 11 years of drawing, you know, from being an 8-year-old kid and doing this kind of stuff. It's definitely interesting to see the path and stuff like that, that girlfriends I've had the effect on. Because a lot of my art style started to change when I had my first girlfriend. And then we stopped talking because she moved. And then there was my second girlfriend who also changed my art style a lot. Like, because everything looked like this. They all kind of have like this exact same kind of build. Where they were like long, skinny things. And then it was my most recent girlfriend, Chelsea, who definitely cemented a lot of what it currently is today. So there's Margaret, though. The difference, you know, a decade's difference. It's definitely different. Here's a really important character, Mimir. He's not changed all that much in 11 years. In fact, I've only made him a little bulkier. I've made him just like I've given more power shoulders and all that stuff. But and basically, in simple terms, this is kind of what he's looked like for like 11 years. So, hey, yeah, Alec, if you're gonna make a death threat to me, dude, just fucking say it. You're gonna make a death threat to me, you might as well fucking say it, you pussy. Don't fucking dance around the concept. If you're gonna say it, just say it at that point. Here's a really, really old, of Ceres. He used to actually look way different. You can find Ceres on my channel in my shorts. It was my most recent art short from a few weeks ago. Ceres is pretty interesting. He was probably my biggest villain character for a long time. Oh yeah, here was a young Margaret from a while ago. Or no, I think this is Zoe. I think this is Zoe. Back when... Here's a really massive change in 11 years. So, we'll just close this book up now. Here's a massive, massive change. So those of you who like white... So here is white today. Jesus. Here's white. He is one of our only femboy characters. And then here's also another version of white, because he has like a personality disorder, where sometimes he thinks he's girly, and sometimes he likes to wear armor, power armor. So he got kind of a difference where he likes to be girly and likes to wear power armor, so... I don't know who I don't know what Dandy's World is, and I'm not taking requests. Bro, get a life? You're sitting here watching it still, dude, and you're telling me to get a life? Get the fuck out of here. Is he not allowed to shift between feminine and masculine? He just... So this is what he actually looks like, but this is with him with his power armor on. People are hating but still staying in chat to watch. Yeah, I don't know. What age is this for? 18 plus. Agony is an 18 plus project. It's very violent and freaky. Hey Jackson, if you don't like it, man, just piss off. It's that simple, man. It's called scrolling. It's not a very hard concept. Fucking moron. So yeah, so here's White. And then here is White from 11 years ago. Yeah, if you're a kid, you should probably leave. I'm gonna take this as you're a kid, so I'm gonna whack you. So yeah, here's his feminine design. So he's a femboy, but he also wears like this power armor. He actually though has always kind of been the super weak character, but this is what he looked like 11 years ago. He used to actually be a lot more buff for some reason. Like he had power shoulders like his dad. He used to also have some red marks on him, but we did away with the red marks and kept him. Oh, what's with this thing on his arm? Okay, this is like a parasite, kind of. This thing, while he was wearing his power armor, like, latched to him and, like, ate his arm, kind of. It's just like a parasite. Really. That's really all it is. Why he a femboy? He just is. Really, boy, I thought it was a girl. Yeah, so this is what he looked like a couple years ago. He has to have, like, these beans on his hand, which he does not have anymore. He's still born to the Crucible. But he used to stand on his toes, and now he stands on his regular feet. So he used to also have horns. He does not have horns anymore. So, yeah, there's a major difference. What he looked like 11 years ago. It's kind of what he looks like now. So, just massive change to a character from after 11 years. Here, I will show off Bahamut now, because I found one with Bahamut. Can you close book? Thank you. Wait a minute, I think Bahamut's actually in here. Is Bahamut actually, like, in here? I don't know who Michael Cheese is, and I'm not taking requests. So, I'm actually just gonna time you out now. Keep fucking spamming and see what happens. Let's see if I can find Bahamut in here real quick. Here is Bahamut today. Son of a bitch. Okay. Here is Bahamut today. Here is Bahamut 11 years ago. He used to kind of be like a blood demon kind of thing. So he used to also be like kind of jacked, and now this is what he looks like here. He was still kind of the vampire-esque kind of thing, but he wasn't actually a vampire. Alright, see ya, guys. I don't know what Dolan's world is. Dracula type? Yeah, kind of like a Dracula type character. So, yeah, 11 years. 11 years of difference, you know? Let's see if there's any other characters that are relevant to today that haven't been either scrapped or completely reworked. Oh yeah, I think 11 years ago. I think this was like my best drawing I ever did for like an Eldritch Horror thing. You know, I just kind of did that. That was a long time ago. Which drawing is your favorite? I don't have a favorite. Let's look at some stuff that is still current, up to date. Or that's a... Okay, here's a really old Emily. Let's find Emily real quick. Emily Emily's probably gone through one of the biggest changes. Let me see if I can find it here. Here we go. Here's Emily's here's Emily right here. Emily's an orc. You can also find Emily on my channel. So you can find Emily on my channel as well in my can I make fan art of your OCs? If you're under 18, I prefer you do not. And then here was Emily 11 years ago. Emily used to be way different. She used to be human. She was really skinny. Like, there is a massive difference between what she is today and what she is now. I gave you a sub. Thanks. Is that her dad? No, this is her husband, David. I actually think I have an old version of David in here, too. There's Charles. There's Lucy. I don't have those guys drawn yet. At least physically, so I can show you guys. There's Era. There's another dark version of Red. That's a really old one. Jesus, some of these are so old and outdated. Any more things that are relevant to today? I don't do shout-outs. It's the biggest change I've ever seen. I've had some other changes. Stephanie's had a big change. Leah's going through a big change right now. Vulcan's gone through some big changes. There's another really old one. I'm trying to look through some old stuff and find... Okay, here's another one that's relevant to today. Hello, is Malcolm trans? That's a random question to ask, but yeah, kind of. Okay. So here is a big change. So here's Hati real quick, and then, not who I'm trying to show, but Hati's husband is the one I'm looking for currently. Hold on. Is this... yeah, here we go. Axel. Hati's husband. Okay, Hati's husband, Axel, used to look a lot different. In fact, he didn't used to be like a human or a demigod or anything like that. He used to actually be like a lion. Like, he used to be a really big jacked lion guy and all that stuff. And I gotta say, oh my god. The changes, man, the changes are insane. So yeah, Axel 11 years ago here, and what he is up to date. So 11 years changes a lot, if you guys can't tell. 11 years changes a lot. Okay, here is here, let me get another one real quick. What a glow up. Yeah, okay. So here's one that's relevant to today about Vile. Because we did Vile today. Let me grab that one. Here is Vile today. In fact, he has not changed very much in 11 years. Here's Vile 11 years ago. As you can see, he used to be, well, I mean, he still has that sharp jawline that the current Vile still has, you know. So, just... He's changed a lot. He used to be purely a bad guy. He used to also have these clones that he'd get into fights with as well. So, like, here's a Vile V2 with a clone of his. Because he used to have a thing where he just keep coming back. But he deteriorate more. And that was, like, the original concept for him and stuff. Fucking Christ. That one has gone through laws and stuff. Okay, yeah, here's a really, really old concept of David. Let me get David back. David. This is Fat Margaret. There's Sabrina. There's Janet. Which one is this one? That's a scrapped Hati design. Here's David. David here, and this is David 11 years ago. David used to look a lot different. So David today, or David 11 years ago. David today. Show Margaret. I already showed Margaret. You can just rewatch the stream. Just say he grew beard. Yeah, he went completely under a different development, man. Like 11 years ago, he was like just your regular old American hero kind of like type character. And now he's a farm daddy. Massive fucking change to him. Jesus. There's a scrapped character right there. Man, a lot of scrapped characters in here. Jesus fucking Christ. I think... Fuck, man. Eventually it just ends. Yeah, okay, that's it for this book. That's everything. That is everything. I'll run through some of the ones I liked real quick. There's a scrapped character, but here's Margaret. I will show Margaret real quick. Here's Margaret today. Here's Margaret 11 years ago. 11 years later, she turned into a cat. Anywho, that's basically everything that this book had to offer. As you can tell, I've been drawing for a very long time. I don't have any drawings that are from 15 years ago that are actually in good quality enough to actually look at anymore. So, well, actually, hold on. While we're on the topic of old stuff, real quick, I may as well show an old Hati real quick. An old Hati design. While we're on the topic of Hati. So here is Hati up to date. And probably my favorite design of her that I ever have had. Well, actually, it's the current design, obviously. Here is Hati from, I think, 7 years ago. I'm not very sure. When I made this. This was definitely a couple years ago. So, fucking massive change, by the way. Massive change. But, yeah, so that's that. A lot of stuff has changed over the past decade and a half. I should go reheat these. Is she like a fox? She's a wolf. I should put these in somewhere safe. But, so that's everything. And this is full of a bunch of stuff. This one I haven't really filled up much, but it's got a lot of Not Safe for Work stuff in it, so I will not be showing this one. A lot of Not Safe for Work stuff in that one. Anyway, though, yeah, so I have all of these sketchbooks, and I'm pretty sure I have more around here somewhere. I'm just not going to dig through them right now. I adore your art, man. Thanks. It's nice to hear that. Anywho, that is everything today. Been streaming for an hour and a half. This stream is meant to be so much shorter, but you know, time flies when you're having fun. So I'm gonna wrap up stream now, guys. I'd like to thank y'all for tuning in. It's meant a lot that you guys tuned in, and you know, just thank y'all. We did Vile today. Maybe I'll work on some Malcolm projects at some point. When do you stream next? Whenever I feel like it. It's whenever I feel like it. So maybe I'll be doing a gaming stream. I'm not really sure. Anyway, I'll be seeing you guys. So yeah, I gotta clean up in here a little bit too. Okay, bye. Okay, guys. Bye. Thanks for tuning in. Let everyone say goodbye real quick. I'm pretty sure some people want to say bye. If you guys want to see more art and stuff like that, you can always check out my art tab or look at my shorts. I do a lot of stuff on there. So, see ya. Don't go. I gotta go. You know, I'm a little out of time right now. All right, see ya.